kami basta-basta bumubuka ka, nag-aantay ng titi na pumasok, and then magkakapera na kami. Hindi, ang bigat. Ang bigat ng dinadaanan namin. And for us to do that willingly, fucking say thank you, bro. Like, be fucking grateful that there are like so many passionate adult content creators providing you with your jack-off material every night. Dude, like, kami yun. Sa amin nanggagaling yun. So show some fucking respect.
Hey Dreamers, this is Jerry Salvador and welcome to the Pillow Talk where dreams get unplugged. So, ang guest natin for today ay sobrang grabe, sobrang strong niya po, sobrang smart, and sobrang sexy niya po.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Please welcome Miss Salome Salvi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you then. Nice to meet the Dreamers.
Yeah, Dreamers ang tawag sa kanila. Oh my God, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Kasi, ngayon ko lang na-gets kasi matutulog.
Matutulog tayo in the bed and everything. So, yeah.
There are just some days na medyo slow tayo. Ngayon ko lang na-gets.
Pero no, yeah, it makes sense. Pero yun nga, Pillow Talk. Welcome sa Pillow Talk.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, you're very much welcome. So, for today, ang dami natin pag-usapan. Parang
Nakita ko nga yung mga questions kasi like, she was kind enough to give me the questions beforehand. Medyo malalim.
Oo, intense. Parang gusto ko rin kasi malaman yung mga why mo talaga in life. So, pero magsimula tayo dun sa when you were younger. So, nung dati ba, ano nga yung childhood dream mo?
Madami din eh. Kasi parang bata pa lang ako, ang dami ko nang na-discover na kaya kong gawin na. One of the first ones is kumanta. And
serious ka pala.
Dati. Nasira na yung boses ko kasi nag-yosi ako and stuff. So, hindi na practice. And then mag-drawing, of course. Kaya nga fine arts yung kinuha ko. Pero parang yung mom ko sabi niya, anak, parang it would be great kung maging lawyer ka kasi daw mayayaman daw yung mga lawyers. Okay. So parang pinangarap ko din yun na maging lawyer when I didn't understand pa what it meant. You know, parang alam ko lang na yung tito ko ay abogado. Tapos yun nga, sabi ng mom ko, ano yan, prestigious na trabaho yan, pursue mo yan. Tapos pero nung nadidiscover ko na sa lahat ng trip ko gawin, ang pinaka gusto ko talaga is mag-drawing, to create stuff, to create objects, sculptures, whatever. Tapos mahilig din ako sa math at the time. Tapos parang there was this hunger in me to make something na i-admire ng mga tao for generations and generations. Oh, wow. Parang I wanted to make a mark in the world somehow.
Like legacy.
Yeah. And since mahilig ako mag-drawing, I wanted to be an architect. That was one of my first, Yun yung first choice ko for a course sa UP. Ano lang siya, parang ang hirap lang kasi talaga makapasok sa Archi. Quota course yun eh. So, unfortunately, hindi ako nakapasok sa Archi. Pero nakapasok naman ng Fine Arts. And hindi naman ako nag-regret dun sa sa decision na yun. Pero ang dami ko rin, parang nung bata ako, I was doing theater, syempre may mga school plays, ganun, I really love doing that din. So yun parang hindi ko naging problema yung lack of options. I just needed to go with what made me the happiest. So, ayun, parang yung ko talaga, yung top 1 ko talaga, architect. Pero, tsaka medyo nayanig yung mundo ko nung hindi ako nakapasok. Kasi yun nga, na parang, ito yung pinangarap ko, like, what now? So, parang yun yung parang one of the first times na natuto ako na mag-adjust. Na, hindi ka dito dinala ng kapalaran eh. So, like, make the most of what you have.
Pero a lot of what you were good at, it's all connected to the arts pa rin eh. Somehow, the creative siya.
Yeah.
So, pero how were you as a child? Were you very, creative and personality-wise?
Yeah, ako, parang as a child, lagi sinusumbat sa akin ng nanay ko to. And ng nanay, ng other family members. Kasi very close-knit yung mother side ko, the family. Silang magkakapatid. Tapos lagi nila ako tinitis na mangmangit. Kasi daw,
Ganun yung term?
yeah, yun talaga. Like, mangmangit yun si Kasi, eto, ayoko kasi i-reveal yung real name ko. Pero, every time I make references to my life, bago ako naging Salome, ang tawag ko sa version na yun si Paps. So, anyway, yung family ko were always like, mangmangit yun si Paps, lalo na nung baby, kasi daw iyakin ako. Sensitive. Umutot lang daw ako, iyak na ako. Ganun. Tapos ako, parang pikon na bata. Like, i-acknowledge ko yun na ako, parang bata pa lang ako, quick to anger na ako. So ganun ako. Pero parang yung escape ko, was talaga, drawing talaga. Like making stuff. You know, na parang we didn't have enough money to na bumili ng computer, so gumawa ako ng computer out of boxes. Kunyari nagta-type ako. Ganun ako na bata na parang parang malawak yung imagination ko. So hindi ako parang never akong nabobore kasi I can always just make stuff with the stuff that was around.
Yung form of expression mo.
Yeah, talaga. Oo. Yeah. Well, like drawing talaga, making stuff. And watching TV. Like dun ako na in love talaga with TV and film, ganun. So yeah, that was my childhood. Had some rough spots kasi nga very tenuous, very troubled yung relationship ko with my family. Like mula pagkabata, yun nga, from bata pa lang ako. Alam mo yun, nilalait-lait na ako ng gano'n, na parang bata, like baby ka na umiiyak, tapos tatawagin kang mangmangit for that.
Dinadagdagan.
Oo. So parang, pero despite that, I have a lot of great memories from childhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to hear that there's that side.
Yeah.
Pero I also want to touch on this, kasi there was this psychiatrist nga that talked about your situation from Tony Talks nga, diba? So, I wanted to hear your response. Actually, nung napanood ko talaga yun, sabi ko, ano kayang sasabihin ni Salome with regards to this? So, can you enlighten us kung ano ba yung take mo on that? Kasi sinabi doon na parang yung validation mo is superficial lang yung nakukuha mo from what you're doing now.
Honestly, hindi ko masyadong like, I don't remember much of what he said. Pero, naman, hindi ko naman i-deny na superficial lang yun naman talaga yung validation na nakukuha ko. Yung, kunyari yung validation and attention na nakukuha mo for being attractive. Syempre, if you're very attractive and, if you put yourself out there, if you're a public figure, you get treated differently. And what I want people to understand, sige, siya, mababaw siya. Superficial siya. Sige, siya, parang, kasi a lot of people think na seeking attention is something that you should be ashamed of. Pero, nagtataka ko, why can't we admit to ourselves that getting attention feels good? Kasi it means na nagmamarka ka sa mga tao, nagko-connect ka with other people. So sige, hindi ko i-deny na superficial yung validation ko from na nakukuha ko from my work with people, telling me that I'm attractive, people sexualizing me. Pero that was a big part of my struggle with my identity. And parang, tsaka parang hindi naman yun yung be all end all ng buhay ko. Hindi lang naman yun yung goal ko sa buhay. Syempre, tama rin naman yung sinabi niya na meron pa rin mga kulang na spots sa buhay ko na, for example, yung parang familial na acceptance and
emotional needs.
Oo, and yung parang having a family to rely on. Syempre, kinikrave ko rin yun. Syempre, malungkot ako na I don't have that. Pero kanino ba namang buhay yung perfect? Kanino ba namang buhay yung walang pagkukulang?
True.
So, parang sinabi niya kasi na parang, syempre, hindi niya yun lahat makukuha sa work niya and sa pagiging Salome niya. Never ko naman hinangad yun. And naintindihan ko naman na hindi, alam mo yun, na parang, pa rin ako parang si Salome, isang part lang yan ng buhay ko. That's just my work. And I know na like I tell people that my work is my life. It's such a big part of my life. And it is. Pero, pero it brings me a lot of joy. It being Salome helped me through some difficult times, especially with my self-esteem, with the way that I look at myself. So sige, give natin yun kay Doc na superficial nga. Pero like, that doesn't take away the fact na ang laki nung naitulong nun sa akin bilang tao.
Yes. And if hindi mo siya nakukuha anywhere else, like especially from your family, you're gonna find it talaga somewhere.
Oh, somewhere.
Yeah.
Tsaka parang, ito pa, hindi naman ako kulang sa kaibigan eh. Siguro, wala akong sige, sabihin na natin na, aminin ko na I'm still craving and still hoping na one day I'll have a family that I can recognize and come home to. Now's not the time for that. Hindi pa ako ready magpatawad and to reconcile and to just, process all of that trauma. Pero, like in the absence of that, I surround myself with good friends, with people who love me.
Yes.
So, parang, I make the best of what I have.
Yes.
You know?
We play with the cards we're dealt with, diba?
Yeah,
and for some, it could be alcohol or drugs or iba-iba. Some people, even yung likes sa Facebook, diba? Yung ganon.
Parang, rin yan eh. Parang, that's actually something that I really acknowledge about myself na medyo ako doon. Medyo addicted ako dun. Meron akong rush talaga na nakukuha when I get that. Pero, what I want to give myself credit for is that at least honest ako sa sarili ko. Na, because I'm doing this because it feels good for me. Because it feels good to get likes. It feels good na posting hot pictures of myself. Like, bakit ko i-deny sa sarili ko yun, di ba? Yeah. Like, why would I deprive myself of that? Just because people don't understand. Or people can't admit to themselves that attention feels good. That's why ang dami nagpapapansin sa Facebook because it feels good being validated by other people.
And yung sense of belongingness na through
that. Yeah.
And I admire din yung self-awareness mo. Na alam mo din naman talaga yung ginagawa mo. It's not like you're just doing this just cause. Yeah.
You have
your reasons.
I have my reasons and I know it in and out. I know the risks. I know na kasi parang that's the only way that you that you should live, honestly. Like knowing yourself and giving yourself what your emotional needs are, diba?
So I'm interested to know then, when you were starting, nung hindi pa alam ng parents mo, and then when they found out, did they reach out to you, or how was that conversation like?
Oh, that was really heavy. There's a film sa Viva Max that is partly based on my life. It's called Kitty K7. It's also about an adult content creator. And sobrang na-disturb ako nung napanood ko yun. Kasi it premiered, it premiered sa Gateway. And nung napanood ko, tapos meron ding confrontation scene doon. Kasi yung character na adult content creator na nalaman din ng parents niya, nalaman ng mom niya na ganun yung ginagawa niya. Tapos may confrontation scene, yung away scene, na parang word for word, nakuha nila kung paano ako binerate ng nanay ko. Kasi ito yung nangyari. Like, we have time naman for long stories, right? I have a lot of people who catfish as me.
Okay. Makes sense.
So, alam mo when I meet somebody and then I'm like, follow me on Instagram, and then he's gonna look me up on Instagram, and there's like fucking, can I swear?
Yeah.
There's like fucking 40 accounts na lalabas na puro ako, na hindi ako. And what people do kasi, and I feel like people really need to be aware of this kind of modus na people use other people's pictures, attractive pictures to catfish. Kasi ang gagawin nila, kunyari, somebody's posing as me. And may lalandiin siyang lalaki. And then they'll trade nudes with each other, do video calls with each other. And this catfish, kukunin niya yung information na yun about that guy. And then she's suddenly gonna turn around and then threaten the guy na, uy, lilik ko tong pictures na to unless you pay me or unless you, they use it for extortion. O kaya, kinukuha nila yung content ko, binibenta in bundles, sinasabi niya, I'm selling this personally, could you give me money for this? Ganyan. Tapos ito pa, meron pang
Ang dami.
Merong people using my username sa mga online games so that they can get items from other players. Kasi nagkukunwari silang ako. I'm like, I don't even, Tetris lang yung kaya ko laruin. Like, so may ganong eksena, right? And then one of these catfishes, they I wouldn't say forge, parang they struck a relationship, or may nilandi siyang lalaki na may asawa. Yeah. And, nalaman ng asawa, and then she found out, saw my pictures, and thought that, she thought na yung kinakausap ng husband niya is ako talaga. And grabe lang yung galit nitong person na to, na she really set out to ruin my life.
Oh no.
Na nahanap niya yung private Facebook ko with my real name. Na,
oh my God, ganun kalala.
Nahanap niya yung Facebook ng brother ko, ng mom ko, ng dad ko, ng ibang relatives ko. She found us. And that was a secret that I tried really hard to keep. You know, private information yun eh. Tapos sobrang galit niya, yun, in-out niya ako sa mama ko.
Oh, doon galit.
Ganun siya.
Kasi hindi pa ikaw yung talaga.
Hindi pa ako. Tapos parang, syempre, ako ng mom ko. Parang, I was living in San Juan at the time with my favorite tita. The tita who was the closest to me. Kasi at the time, I was working somewhere near San Juan. And yun, pinuntahan niya ako sa bahay. Tapos yun, she confronted me about it. Sabi niya, anak, bakit mo inahas si Tony? Sabi, sino si Tony? Mami, hindi ko ginagawa yan. Like unang-una, parang na-corner ako. And I had my mom kasi like really doesn't know anything about me. Kasi yun nga parang yung response niya to whenever I tell her about what's going on with my life talaga, what I'm really like, hindi niya tanggap eh. Like, it's not just the sex work. Even way before ng pagkabata ko, yung weirdness ko, yung uniqueness ko, hindi niya tanggap. So, parang, na-corner talaga ako nung time na yun, and I had to tell her, Ma, like, Mommy, like, I need you to know na yes, I am out having sex with other people. Yes, this is going on. Yes, ito na yung ginagawa ko ngayon. Pero, like, you need to understand na hindi ako yung tipo ng babae na mag-aahas ng may asawa. Lalo na kung hindi naman pogi. Okay? Like, anin ko yan, ba? Like, alam mo yun? So, pero hindi talaga, she couldn't even wrap her head around the adult content and everything like that. So, it was a really, like, it was a really like painful experience, you know, na to be outed like that. Na parang biglang ang dami ko kailangan i-explain. Kasi lahat yun.
Sabay-sabay.
Oo, tsaka lahat yun tinago ko. Yung yung pagiging open relationship namin ng boyfriend ko. Kasi may boyfriend ako at the time eh. And initially, he's actually very supportive of the adult content. Lalo na nung solo content pa lang yung ginagawa ko. So, very supportive siya of that. Tapos, yeah, we were in an open relationship. And in a sense na I was free to have sex with whoever guy I want, whoever girl. And he also had the same freedom. Pero kami emotionally committed. Ganun yung setup namin. And it's not, you know, yung ganung klaseng setup, I know na it's not widely understood. Lalo na by my mom. Diba? Okay. So, pati yun hindi niya alam. So, alam mo yun, na parang ang dami ko tinago sa kanya about myself, especially about my sexuality. Kasi yun nga bata pa lang ako. Inaano na niya Nini-discourage na niya yun eh. Kasi she thinks na, yun nga, immoral. And parang, she had so many hopes for me. She recognized my potential. She really thought na me being sexual, me discovering my sexuality, being sexually active, makakaharang yan sa pagiging successful and matalino. Kasi, meron ng stigma na gano'n na, hindi, mga yun nga, immoral, mga pokpok lang yung mga ganyang masal. Hindi ka ganyan. You're above that. Ganun yung conditioning sa akin. So, parang, yeah, I can imagine na, aminin ko rin, acknowledge ko na it must have been knowing na ganun yung nanay ko, na ganun yung
Ang
pagtingin
hirap.
niya sa mundo, it must have been crushing for her to find out na yung taong pinakamamahal niya pa, yung pumunta sa ganung direksyon. Yung sa tingin niya yung pinaka nakakahiya na pwede gawin ng isang babae, nagawa ng anak niya. Alam kong masakit yun. Pero, and I understand that. You know, like, I understand na yun yung dahilan kung bakit hindi kami okay. Pero, pero I want people to understand din na parang imagine nyo rin kung gaano kahirap for me na putangin na yung sarili kong nanay, hindi ako tanggap. Yung pagkatao, hindi tanggap. So, ganun kalala yung rift namin. Okay?
Gets yung both sides, where everyone's coming from.
Where everyone's coming from. I don't think na I was able to like really like get into that in other interviews that I've had na yun, na ganun kalala yung naging fallout namin.
Or did you get to have a heart-to-heart talk?
After that, that was the last time I saw her in person.
What year was this?
2019.
Before pa nung pandemic. So parang during the pandemic, mas malala siguro yung naisip niyo both.
Oh yeah. Tsaka it was really rough. Pero I think na honestly, bilang isang introvert, tsaka matagal na ako, even before that incident, matagal nang trouble yung relationship ko with my mom. Matagal na akong estranged. Alam mo yun? Matagal na siyang stranger sa akin. So, honestly, yung pandemic and the distance that afforded me, I didn't mind it so much.
Okay.
Honestly.
It kinda helped.
yeah. Na parang, for the first time, kasi, tsaka lalo na nung pandemic, kasi, people were stuck at home. And honestly, like, online sex work, OnlyFans, all of those subscription pages, yung Alter Worlds sa Twitter, where people sell their content independently, yung eksena na yun sa Telegram, nag-flourish yan ng pandemic. Kasi people were starved for sexual connection So, here we are, sex workers are there to provide that. And kaming adult content creators. Tsaka people who used to do full service sex work, which is having sex for money, like transition sila to online sex work so that they could survive the pandemic still doing sex work. Gets? So, nag-OnlyFans ako nun. Tapos, it was really, really lucrative for me. And for the first time in my life, kasi kulong ako sa parents ko
And do you think this was like a form of revenge to them? Why you did
I
this?
wouldn't say revenge. Hindi ako ganun kababaw na tao. You know, parang, pero yeah, yung pandemic yung first time na nakabukod ako. That I really was able to like really save up and get myself my own condo and my own space. Kasi sa bahay namin, I didn't even have yung basic need of privacy. Like, nagagalit yung nanay ko pag sinasara yung pinto, hindi niya nakikita yung ginagawa ko. Wala ako noon, bata ako. Like all my life up until I was like up until the pandemic, you know? So parang
very conservative talaga
yung upbringing. Yeah, nakulong ako Pero, with it being revenge, I never thought of it that way. Parang, I'm not doing this to spite anybody. I'm doing this because I love it. I'm doing this for myself. This is the thing that gave me financial stability. It gave me a creative outlet. It gave me, it made me rearrange or reframe the way that I look at my body and the way that I respect my body and give it credit, and it changed the way that I look at sex and at relationships. It gave me more empathy. I'm doing it all for those reasons, not so that I could hurt my parents. No, like, galit ako sa parents ko. But I'm not the kind, pero minahal ko din sila. Magulang ko sila So why would I do anything on purpose to hurt them? Masakit yung ginagawa ko kasi hindi nila tanggap. But I'm not doing it para magalit sila. I'm not doing it para mabwisit sila or anything like that. I'm doing it kasi dito ako dinala ng buhay ko
Paano ba napunta nga dito sa pagiging porn star? So when and how did it start for you? Was it during altar community na
Yes.
na-awaken?
Dun talaga. Parang sabay-sabay na ay nangyari itong 3 landmark things noong 2017. Una, like I mentioned kanina, I was in an open relationship with my ex. This guy is the only guy that I ever had a relationship with. Siya lang yung naging jowa ko.
And then 6 years to, di ba? Ang tagal.
6 years.
Pero 1 ex lang.
1 ex lang.
Grabe.
Tapos, syempre na naging open relationship kami, we both got back on the dating scene. We both got back on Tinder. Tapos, even within our relationship before, kahit nung monogamous pa kami, bonding namin yung sisendan ko siya ng nudes, ganyan.
Okay.
Saka, parang sa kanya ko na-discover na, ay, ang sarap pala, na-enjoy ko
Masaya
pala.
pala.
Masaya
ganun.
pala. And I think, so many women, so many people fall in love with taking nudes of themselves that way. Na parang, parang merong part sa kanila na nahihil kapag nakikita nila yung sarili nila. Ay, ang ganda ko in pictures. So, parang may ganun ako naging experience and process. So yun, naging open relationship kami after the first 2 years of our relationship. We both got back on dating. Tapos na-realize ko, ay, na-enjoy ko rin mag-send ng mga nudes sa mga nalalandi ko na galing Tinder. Saya din pala. Parang, kasi yun nga parang at this time in my life, I was still so broken. Sobrang kulang na kulang pa yung self-esteem ko. Tapos parang, isipin mo parang, and then na-shelter ako ng ganun.
Katagal.
Ng ganun katagal, in an environment na I was never told that I was attractive. Tapos biglang influx ng, oh my God, you're so hot. So many people are matching with me on Tinder. So many people are complimenting me. And then when I send them nudes, they say that I make them horny. Grabe! Ano siya very transformative yung ganung klaseng experience, especially if you knew where I was coming from. Ganon. So, may ganung eksena, Tinder. And then, I discovered the altar community on Twitter kasi I had a lot of gay friends. I have a lot of gay friends, yeah. Friends from the community. And then, nakita ko na, ito, yung first altar account, and honestly, the altar account, that is the reason why I wanted to do what I'm doing now. Si Makati Twink Top.
Yun yung name mo.
Oh, yun yung kasi taga Makati siya. He's a twink and he's a top. So, I think he's still going now. I think his account is still like up or something. I think nagpo-post pa rin siya. Tapos, nakita ko ang dami niyang followers. He was posting his nudes, his sex videos. Tapos, parang, I was like, I want that attention for myself. Yun nga parang very honest ako sa sarili ko na, yeah, attention feels good to me. I do want it. Ang sarap magpapansin. Sorry. KSP talaga ako. I'm a Sagittarius. So, so parang nakita ko yun. Parang, oh shit, gusto ko maging ganyan din. Gusto ko rin gawin yan. And at the time nga, open relationship na kami ng boyfriend ko. And he was very open to the idea of me posting my nudes. Tapos he was very proud na makikita ako ng mga tao na ganun. He was very, very forgiving or very accepting of that. Alam niya rin na kailangan ko Kasi more than anybody, especially at the time, siya yung pinaka nakakaalam talaga kung gaano kalalim yung insecurity ko, kung gaano ka lawak ng self-hatred ko, kung gaano kalalim. So, alam niyang kailangan ko yun.
So, you're just being true to yourself talaga.
So, yun, parang, I was like, I want that. So, I started posting my nudes on Twitter. Tapos, at the time kasi parang wala pa masyadong babae sa altar community kasi dominated talaga siya ng mga bakla, gay men. Kasi sila talaga yung pinaka suppressed yung boses. Lalo na about their sexuality. It's not safe for them to express themselves very openly. Lalo na napaka-conservative dito sa Pilipinas. So, gumawa sila ng altar. It's a safe space for them to express themselves. And, at the time, I had the same needs kahit babae ako. So, ayun. Dun talaga siya nagsimula.
And then, when did do you remember the exact time na naisip mo na, oh, I want to expand this to, like, being a porn star, ganyan?
Yeah, kasi nakikita ko na there wasn't an exact, There wasn't an exact moment.
Mm.
But I always had a fascination with porn and erotic film. Like, never ako naging porn addict. Pero, kasi may mga taong who really, form of addiction rin yun eh. Nakaka-addict din talaga kasi dopamine rush. Never naman akong naging ganun. Pero yung approach ko kasi has always been like, yung fascination ko with it has always been like, I love films na may erotic content, ganyan. And I knew, and and being an art student, kasi fine arts yung kinuha ko eh, alam ko kung gaano ka enmeshed, kung gaano ka enmeshed ang sexuality sa art. You know, parang the very first artworks are of sexy women,
yeah,
diba?
Yeah.
Hindi Venus of Urbino yun eh. Yung Venus na na chubby.
Roman times? Ganyan.
Hindi pa.
Before?
Parang, even before pa, na parang, na malaki boobs, malaki puwet. So, parang ganun ka, parang, I understood that, na mahal ko ang art, and sex is always part of art, you know? So, ganun yung parang, pagtingin ko sa porn. It's always been like that. It's always had a reverence. Na parang there's an opportunity for porn to be elevated and be artful. You know? So, and nakita ko rin na sa altar community, lalo na among the women who are part of the altar community, bilang sa kamay, sa isang kamay yung talagang nag-take the leap from just posting nudes to actually making porn with partners tas nagpapakita ng mukha. Parang nakita ko na may vacuum. There's a niche that needs to be filled by somebody. Or, you know, so nakita ko na parang shit, opportunity to for me to lead the way. I'm not saying that I'm the first one. I'm really not. But nakita ko na there was space for me, you know, na parang I could make a mark like this. And naging part rin yun kung bakit naging rocky yung relationship ko with that guy by the end of it. Kasi he was very supportive of me posting nudes, making solo porn, meaning masturbation, playing with myself. Pero sabi niya, syempre lahat ng tao may thresholds and even though he gave me a lot of freedom talaga, and I will always, you know, be grateful for him na grabe na binigyan niya ako ng freedom to explore my sexuality with other men kasi nga open relationship kami. Naintindihan ko rin naman na sabi niya, may hangganan na. May threshold na, natatamaan mo na. Na ayoko na, parang happy ako na that you have the freedom to have sex with other men, pero huwag mo naman ako bigyan ng ebidensya. Alam mo, syempre ang sakit.
Ayaw niyang mapanood.
Oo, syempre ang sakit rin for him kasi mahal niya ako eh. And aware naman siya that I'm having sex with other men, pero masyado nang masakit yung nakikita niya pa. Diba? Pero ako kasi at the time, parang, nag-wane na yung attraction ko sa kanya as with other relationships talaga. Parang we were growing apart na talaga. We were growing into people that were incompatible na. Tapos, and I fell in love with being an altar. I fell in love with posting nudes, and I really wanted, you know, I really saw that there was ground to break. And I really wanted, you know, like, I really wanted to experience what it was like to actually make hardcore porn. Because yun nga, I've always been fascinated with it. So, pinili ko yung sarili ko, pinili ko yung parang yung curiosity ko, yung goal ko na yun. So,
and then, when you finally decided na you're gonna do this, what was your thought process like? Like, can you share okay, I want to do this. What am I gonna do now?
Okay. The first step, always, is to find someone to do it with. Yeah. And that was the hardest part. And it's always the hardest part.
Even until now.
Until now. Oo, lagi kong problema yan. Kasi, with guys kasi, marami nagpapantasya na gawin nila yun. Parang, I've always fantasized about being in porn and fucking a porn star. Pero, kung ilatag mo sa kanila what it really means, people are gonna see how you fuck. That, like, when people have sex, that is the most vulnerable state that they can possibly be in.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most vulnerable states.
Mm.
And ready ka ba na i-share mo yung vulnerability na yun to hundreds of thousands, millions of people? Makikita nila kung paano ka kumantot. And makikita nila yung itsura ng titi mo.
Yeah, everything.
Everything! Tsaka talaga, parang ang goal ko talaga, and dito nahirapan talaga ako maghanap ng people to have sex with na willing magpakita ng mukha. Kasi lalo na sa altar kasi kaya siya altar community. Kasi people make alter egos of themselves. Pero a huge bulk of them, actually, a huge bulk of the altar community, hindi nagpapakita ng mukha. Kasi itong mga taong to, very few people naman talaga commit full-time to sex work eh. A lot of people, a lot of sex workers,
side hustle.
May side hustle lang nila yon. May mga pinahahawakan yung mga yan. Some of them are going to school, some of them have families, some of them have jobs na kapag nalaman nila na may ganong eksena, they might get fired. So, people protect themselves by not showing their face. So, dun pa lang, na makahanap ako ng lalaki na willing na pakita ng mukha at willing kumantot in front of the camera and hindi naapektuhan yung performance nila with having the cameras around. Kasi a lot of guys, yun nga, yayabang eh. Kaya ko yan. Babarutin kita, Lods. Ganyan. Pero pag nakita nila yung mga camera, yung mga ilaw, biglang, ay! Oops! Hindi ako tumitigas. I'm scared. I'm anxious. May performance anxiety ng chuchu. And I'm like, sakit sa ulo. Kasi parang these people, hindi naman sila kasing dedicated sa trabaho ko as I am. Akala nila laro-laro lang. So, ang hirap maghanap ng tao na may parehong work ethic, na may ganong na may ganong respeto, reverence para sa trabaho namin, at naintindihan nila inside and out yung gravity, yung consequences ng ginagawa namin. Sobrang onti lang. As in, bilang sa kamay. Like, I have, like my other, I wouldn't say rivals. Siguro my other, parang the other people in the Pornhub community, in the industry. They have hundreds of videos on their channel. I only have 24. Kasi una-una mahirap mag-edit, pero malaking factor yung ang hirap maghanap ng tao. Yun. So, that was step one. Thankfully naman, nakahanap naman ako along the way. Meron namang mga willing and hot and, people who have really excellent chemistry with me. Next step was learning to be a videographer.
Kasi one-woman team.
Yeah, I had to learn how to edit. I had to learn I had to learn photography basics, videography basics. I needed to learn how to light myself. I needed to decorate the condo so that it's like shoot ready. Ang daming cheche-boreche.
Yeah, kailangan isipin.
Kailangan isipin. So, parang it's a proseso talaga na eventually, na-refine yung workflow ko, yung work process ko. And ngayon, I wouldn't say na madali na lang siya, pero parang parang unti-unti nagagalingan ko na.
And that's good na at least, diba, throughout the years, like through the years, yung from experience then, and you get to know more people to get to be a part of it. And so when you talk to your partners, do you have like boundaries or safe words then when you...
Yeah, of course,
can you tell us about it?
Actually, there's a video of this kasi I did the video with a female content creator na actually very big on Pornhub. Shout out kay Miss Tina.
Hello.
Si Leslicks on Pornhub. Tapos parang meron kaming parang video, I think ni-release niya sa mga premium channel niya na parang bago kami mag-start, tinatanong ko muna siya, what is the best way to make you come? Through the clit ba? What are your favorite toys? What do you need me to do para mag-come ka? Para mag-enjoy ka? So, there's always that discussion. Actually, very rigorous yung preparation ko. Bago ko isa lang sa shoot. yung mga makaka-partner ko. Nakausap ko muna ng malalim, yun nga, do's and don'ts, ano yung mga kinks mo. Tsaka, we get tested first.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good to hear,
Yeah, we get tested first. Meron akong mga home test kits that I buy. Suki na nga ako eh. Doon sa binibilang ko, hivtestkit.ph. Pwede po kayo bumili ng mga test kits for different sexually transmitted infections. So, para alam nyo lagi yung status nyo. So, may ganun pa. Tsaka, parang priority ko kasi with making my videos is yung, I want people to see a genuine connection. Kasi, that's the kind of porn that I really love watching. Yung favorite porn ko, porn na magjowa sila eh. Kasi kitang-kita mo yung electricity between them.
The chemistry talaga
Yeah. So, ang sarap panoorin. Tsaka, parang siguro dahil na rin sa love ko for film, yung passion ko for acting, tsaka kilala ko na rin yung, alam ko yung trabaho ko inside and out eh. So, nakahalata ko kaagad kung pinipeke ng actors yung nila, yung reactions nila, yung responses nila. And it takes me out when I watch porn. So syempre, ginawa kong goal para sa sarili ko na ayokong may ganung moment. Gusto ko genuine lahat.
Gusto mo yung partner mo, ganyan.
Oo, gusto ko, kasi parang nakaka-add yun sa immersion for the viewers eh. Kapag kita nila yun, magko-connect din sila with the content in such a special way. So, and yun nga eh, parang syempre pag passion mo yung ginagawa mo, lagi mong gusto galingan, 'di ba? So, ayun, parang to make sure of that, to make sure na present yung chemistry, I go on dates muna with the person, kinikilala ko muna. Especially, tsaka I have sex with them off camera muna. Just to make sure na, yun nga,
okay ba?
Na may chemistry. Tsaka kung marunong. Kasi may nangyari na rin gano'n nila, parang yung
okay,
unang,
sana.
Yung unang meeting namin, salang kagad. Tapos biglang yung output is hindi pala siya marunong.
Oh no.
So hindi ko siya nirelease ng maayos. Yung mga ganun. Kasi may mga moments nga na ganun na marami na rin akong kaya may ganito yung screening ko, kaya ganito ka-rigorous. Kasi ang dami ko ng experience engaging with people who wanna do porn. And then pagdating sa trabaho, hindi naman pala marunong. o kaya may na parang bad experience din na siya eh, parang he's an Italian pornographic actor talaga. Like, ginagawa niya talaga. And this was really early this was really early. This was like 2019 pa. Parang I wanted to make content with this guy. Right? And, nagdala ako ng gamit, mga ilaw, sinetap ko. One-man team eh. Pinuntahan ko siya doon sa nire-rent niyang place. And then, parang, sineryoso ko. Kasi trabaho eh.
Yeah.
And I really, this is one of my first opportunities na may nakilala akong willing gumawa ng content with me.
Kasi nagsistart ka pa lang noon.
Nagsistart pa lang ako. So, syempre, kailangan galingan. He shows up to work. Having done ecstasy the night before.
Okay.
And what ecstasy does, lalo na if you're crashing from ecstasy, is that you won't get hard.
Oh no!
So, oh my God, namaga yung pangako. Blowjob pa lang kami. Blowjob pa lang kami, hindi na namin nagawa. Oo. So, alam mo, ang dami ko na-experience na ganun sa mga olats na guys na, yun nga, ang yayabang. Akala nila kayang-kaya nila yung Tapos biglang pagdating, oh my God, sinayang mo lang yung oras ko, kuya.
Time and effort.
Oo. So ngayon, kinikilala ko ng mabuting. Bago kami sumalang. Kaya rin matagal yung turnover rate ko for my films. Kasi yun nga, ang hirap maghanap ng tao eh. Kasi dun pa lang sa screening process, ang dami nang nalalahagas eh. Ang dami nang hindi pumapasa eh.
Parang dating din yung ginagawa mo.
Oo, diba? Like, I have to find a work partner na kasundo ko. Tama ka. Actually, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, parang,
diba? It's like you're dating.
It's like I'm looking for a husband. Kasi, honestly, yung pinakamatagal kong nakatrabaho, we've been working for 3 years. 2020 to 2023. Tapos nagka-girlfriend siya. R.I.P. Pero ang tawag ko sa kanya si work hubby. Kasi tama siya, partnership siya eh.
Yeah.
Tama ka, okay. That's a nice way to look at it.
And then, how long usually yung process nga na to before you actually shoot?
Depende sa guy.
Mhm.
Merong mga professional talaga ito. Like, shout out kay Paolo Amores. A lot of my gay fans love my video. Pero siya kasi, content creator talaga siya na bisexual. So, alam na niya yung, alam na niya yung ins and outs. Ins and outs.
Double meaning.
Alam na niya yung ins and outs. So, parang, we didn't need to go through that, na parang getting to know, chuchu. Diretso, kami, parang, although yung first shoot namin, hindi kasi namin, parang in-expect na mag-shoot kami kagad. Pero nadala kami ng init ng panahon. Na we shot something na guerrilla style lang, na parang set up lang ako ng GoPro, tapos parang very informal lang na Pero parang ganon ka ganda yung connection namin na nakagawa kami kagad.
Immediate,
oo. Pero meron namang iba, di ko nalang papangulo na parang yung first meeting namin, 3 pumps.
Done. 1 minute?
Oo. Kasi this guy, parang prior to that daw, parang I think a year siya na yung fubo niya lang yung fina-fuck niya. So parang sanay na sanay siya doon sa katawan ng girl. Tapos now there's this new person na he was very intensely attracted to. Kasi grabe yung hindi kami kulang doon just sa attraction. Pero dahil nga sobrang intense, kasi that happens sometimes sobrang intense ng feelings mo for the person, sobrang intense ng attraction mo, hindi ka nakaka-perform na maayos. And yun nga, parang nalabasan ka
na-excite siya masyado.
Na-excite siya masyado. So sabi ko, feel ko kailangan natin muna sanayan yung katawan mo with me. Kailangan natin masanay sa isa't isa. Kasi siya rin siya content creator din kasi siya talaga by trade. So sabi, siya rin yung na-disappoint sa sarili niya na, shit, hindi tayo makakatrabaho. Alam niya na hindi okay yun So yun, parang I think it took us a month and a half.
Tagal din
Oo, kasi parang, kasi yung second, 5 minutes. And then yung third, 10 minutes na.
Okay.
Tapos nung ngayon, 15 minutes na, medyo nag-shoot na kami ng konti nun. Tapos nung...
Pahinga muna.
Tapos nung kinakaya na niya na 30 minutes, sabi ko, okay, yung mga videos ko at least 25-30 minutes. So, ayan, pwede na tayo mag-shoot. Marunong ka na. So, yun, parang, it was a process.
Yeah.
Tapos ngayon, parang I'm gearing up to work with someone. Tapos, nung una din, parang yung katawan ko hindi pa sanay sa kanya. Ako naman yung katawan ko naman yung hindi nagre-respond ng okay. Tapos siya din, parang he's having a hard time maintaining his erection. Kasi yun nga, new person So, parang nandun kami sa station. We're going out on dates.
Okay.
Having sex. So, parang I'm in the process of screening someone. So, lagi may ganun. Diba? Parang,
grabe nga. It's a full-time job.
It is. Na parang aside from the editing and the lighting.
Yun pa.
Alam mo, honestly, like, the sex is just like 5% of the job. It's the things around the sex that I have to take care of. Yun yung matrabaho talaga. Yeah.